What's up, everybody? We have a very, very special Bachelor Happy Hour. I am sitting here. I feel like I should whisper, you guys. I'm sitting here backstage. It's Women Tell All. I've just watched the whole thing. The ladies will be coming through, and you know I've got a ton of questions to ask. We're going to get to it. Unfortunately, my girl Becca, she's not going to be here tonight, but that's okay. I told her I would pick up the pieces. She wants to be here. She's here in spirit. She even sent in some questions for me, so I'm going to ask Becca's questions. I'm not going to talk anymore because the first lady is coming up right now.
Heidi Klum and Tim Gunn are back together to launch the next global fashion brand. In Making the Cut, a new original series from Amazon, 12 designers from around the world compete to take their brand to the next level. Join Heidi and Tim as they travel from New York to Paris to Tokyo to find the designer who has what it takes. New episodes available every Friday. Watch Making the Cut only on Prime Video.
First up to join me on the podcast, I'm so excited to talk to you. It's Sydney.
Yes.
How are you? First of all, you look stunning. Let me just dish out compliments. You look amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But how do you feel?
You know what? I feel like a certain calmness right now. I do. I feel like a lot has happened over, an extended amount of time, and I finally have had a little second to breathe and for everything to finally happen and to move on,
Yeah. No, I mean, today was a lot.
It was a lot.
But for different reasons. Because one, you're facing the drama. It's a reunion show, we all love reunion shows because it's it all comes to a head. You've seen what everyone's saying in ITMs.
Right.
To Peter, all that good, bad stuff.
Yeah.
But it's the first time y'all are seeing each other and talking. Then you have to see Peter for the first time, and it's been 3 months-ish. Then we had this conversation that needed to be had that honestly you spearheaded.
Thank you.
And no, thank you.
It's because of you though.
No, it's not because of me. No, I have to give credit where credit is due because, we had the conversation where we talked about race. It was uncomfortable, but it was necessary. Yeah. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Sydney and I had a conversation because of a lot of hate that she was receiving. Yeah. And I am one to brush things under the rug. I'm like, okay, I get a message, delete, move on. But that's not what everybody does. And I'm acting like it's not an issue and it's a problem. And it was you who made me say, you know what? It is a problem and we need to talk about it. So how did you feel having that conversation?
Right. So when we had our conversation, I was just, we were just talking about what, looking up to you and what you had to go through, as the first African-American bachelorette, and being in this, it's hard for women of color. It's hard. And I'll say that because I've lived this my whole life. And then now it being on such a huge scale, I've had to deal with, if someone doesn't like you, they go as low as they possibly can. And the lowest you can go is someone's race, So having this opportunity to talk about something that I'm so passionate about and something that I saw in this, and I hope that changes, meant everything to me. And I just feel like it's my duty for girls that do look like us to know that you can do this, number one, and number two, you can rise above the hate.
Yeah, absolutely. See, and thank you. Yeah. Thank you for that. How did it feel when the women came running over to you to comfort you after seeing some of those text messages that they know that were directed toward, I keep saying text messages, those DMs, comments that were directed to you?
A lot of people will say about the season that we didn't love each other and that we were always so catty and against each other.
I still question it.
But in that moment was a moment that I had felt nothing but love from those women, and the support and the love means so much to me. And, all the little hee-hee-yeah-yeahs that were done in the past, that made up for everything because, when you're hurt, that love just means everything.
And I think that's important for everyone else to see because we do see, your season has gotten, and I've talked about it on the podcast. Your season has gotten a lot of heat for the girls being so catty and mean girls and not having that unity and sisterhood, but on the stage in that moment, we saw the sisterhood. And it's funny because there was a point today in Women Tell All where Lexi said, you guys don't know this, but we all love each other. And I remember thinking, okay, Lexi.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I saw the love.
When someone's hurting, I have hurt through this, and the things that they actually finally saw that was happening to me, nothing but love. Nothing but love was received. And I love that.
Yes, I did. I loved it too. And I think I know your message resonated with me. I'm sure it's going to resonate with everybody who saw it. And I just hope that because of what you spearheaded, that we can all be better and do better and just hold each other accountable.
To be that voice. And, this opportunity and this to say something about it and have you there to just like support me has meant so much to me. It has. And I hope that it goes forward and we stop this because we just need to love each other a little bit more.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So let's talk about moving forward. Okay, so you just survived Women Tell All.
I survived.
What is next? Paradise? Summer Games?
Who knows, Rachel?
Are you interested in it?
I want to find love. I know that. So whichever way that may happen, I'm open to it. Skeptical, of course, just because of all the hate, but hopefully it gets better. And who knows what's going to happen.
Well, you have a support system around you. So I think as long as you have that strong circle, you can combat that hate even on the worst days.
Yes.
But I know you're a hot commodity because this Bachelor Nation world is small and the people are talking.
Oh, God.
And they want to know if you're going to be out there on the beach or wherever Summer Games may be. You can't give us a hint of something?
I'll say I do want to find love in whatever way that may be. We'll just have to see.
So what do you think about the ending? I have to get your opinion on this because we saw tonight that Madison is clearly struggling.
Yeah.
We saw Victoria F goes home and now it's down to Madison and Hannah. Knowing everything that came out, because I heard your response to the decisions that she has made as she's navigated this journey. But how do you really feel?
No,
because all y'all gave really politically correct answers. And I happen to think what you said is right about her being true to her beliefs and her standards and the commitment that she's made. That's beautiful. But you find no issue in the timing of it all?
I will say, I think it may have been in her best interest to speak about it before she did.
Okay.
I think she waited to the absolute last second and that rubbed some people the wrong way. If she looking back now, I think she would have even brought it up before she did. But in that, I will say that Madison is who she says she is.
She's
not going to waver, no matter if there's a fantasy suite or not. Madison's not going to do that. And she holds herself to, what she's always been, lived her whole life. So
what do you think about someone coming on the show? Let's just be honest. I feel like I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. The Bachelor isn't standing on biblical standards.
Yeah,
so what do you think about someone who comes on the show knowing how the show is and then comes all the way to the end, possibly taking somebody else's place and potentially may leave for that same reason? Do you think that's fair? Do you think that's selfish?
I don't think it's selfish. I think that Madison, like I said, should have just brought it up before she did and it would have gone a little bit better. Yes, we know the show. It's not, sex is involved in this show. It's not a secret.
Yeah.
And her knowing her, views on that, it's iffy, it's one of those situations where it's just what are you going to do? You're in this position, you've gotten this far, you love this man, and there's certain steps that are going to be made with other women, and however you feel about it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But I don't think that she put him in a situation to make a decision. She was just hey, this is how I feel about it. Take it or leave it, but this is how I'm going to feel no matter what happens,
Okay. Well, what do you think's going to happen? Because we don't know. So apparently, according to Chris, neither does Peter. I don't know what that means.
You know what? Peter has had a reputation for not being able to make decisions. So I think it's a case of he hasn't made his decision yet.
As in between the women?
Yeah, they're saying, he is unspoiled. The season can't be unspoiled. Well, how can it not be unspoiled? Maybe he hasn't even decided. Who knows?
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
And thank you for what you did tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, next in the hot seat is Shiann, which I am so excited to talk to you because I feel like on the season, we didn't see much.
Yeah.
But first of all, congratulations for surviving Women Tell All.
Thank you.
That's a feat in itself.
Yes.
But you were talking, you were getting into it. You and Lexi had some tips. And I don't want to get all messy, but I'm just saying it was nice because I think we saw you very quiet on the show. So how did it feel tonight sitting up there on stage and really getting to express what this journey was for you?
It was honestly, so on the show, I was a lot more quiet. I didn't want to get involved in the drama because
I was there to find my person. I wasn't there to start stuff, be in stuff. Like, I don't want it. But then, you know, that doesn't mean I don't have my feelings about situations.
Right.
And so, you know, I'm like, okay, at the tell, like, I need to express how I feel because I didn't express any of that when I was on the show, or, you know, nothing was shown. And so that's kind of why tonight I just took it, and I was like, look, these are the situations, and this is like a real thing.
Oh, I was here for it.
Yeah.
I said, so please be quiet so Shiann can speak. Please.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you and I were talking just a bit before we got on the mic.
Yes.
For Bachelor Happy Hour. So when Peter came to the show,
Yes.
the only time we've had him on, actually, no, I lie, we've had him on twice. So when Peter actually came in the flesh to Bachelor Happy Hour, he revealed that he didn't pick any of the flight attendants. He sent home 3 flight attendants the first night. But then he said there was one that revealed herself in a very interesting way.
Yes.
And we never saw that on the show. So is there
bummed.
something that you want to tell us that we don't know?
So I used to be a flight attendant.
Okay. She's the one, guys. It's her.
Surprise. Yeah, so I used to be a flight attendant. It was a couple years back. But after night 1 and I realized he sent all of them home, I was like, like, I'm keeping that a little, like, I gotta build a relationship first before I like.
Do you play chess? No. Because you were playing chess that night and you were winning because the 3 of them
they went home, and I was like, and so when I told him like that I was a flight attendant, it was in that kind of dramatic scene. So we were sitting there, we're having our conversation. I was like, how are you? Doing good. Okay, cool. But there's something I need to tell you. And he's like, what? And I was like, God. And I like started like kind of having like a mini panic attack. I'm like, it's on my chest. Like, I've been laying in bed, staying up late about this. Like, I don't want you to think anything different about me. And he's like, Shiann, what? Like, you're really scaring me. And I'm like, I take this long break, and he's like, Shiann, like, tell me. And I look up at him, and I'm just like, I used to be a flight attendant. He's like, are you freaking kidding me? And he like jumps back in his seat. And he's like, oh my God, you scared the crap out of me. I thought it was something else. And we just laughed and like talked about flying and stuff. And
well, he's still talking about it because he loves it. He was excited to tell us. I DM'd him the other day because I'm like, who is this mystery flight attendant? And when he told me it was you, I was like, are you kidding me? And he's so upset that didn't make the cut.
It was so great. Like, I'm so sad that didn't show because there was a lot of me crying. And I was like, and that was like one moment where I was like, oh, they're going to show this and everyone's going to be like, yeah. And they didn't even show it. I was like, great. Okay, fine.
Do you feel like you have any regrets? Because it's one thing to be in it all.
Yes.
And then you go home and then you watch where you were a part of it and then so much more of it back. Do you feel like you have any regrets from this season?
I definitely could have been more aggressive. I am, you know, it's hard when you're on the show. You try, but that doesn't mean you get your way.
Yeah.
And I definitely did try, but I could have been more like, no, like, I need this. I'm going, you know, go, rather than being like, no, and be like, okay. Like, I should have been more aggressive. And that's kind of one thing, like, I definitely wish I could have done more.
Well, I can see why you didn't want to be aggressive because there was a lot of aggressive behavior.
Yeah. And I'm not a person to just be naggy like that. Yeah. I'm just not like, I will put forth the effort, but I'm not one to just be in your face all the time. Go. You know, so that was something that was challenging for me.
Who are you close with from your season?
I'm actually really close with Tammy. Me and Tammy are super close.
I am so actually happy that you said that because
I love her so much.
Watching tonight, it seems like who's friends with, I think at one point I saw you kind of like consoling Tammy. But I was like, who's friends with Tammy? It just seemed to be so much build up and attack on Tammy. And I get it. Tammy made some mistakes.
She did.
Throughout the show. Everybody did.
Right.
And I think, you know, I relate to someone with a strong personality and a lot of opinions. Yeah. And, you know, sometimes we navigate things differently, but it's really nice to hear that Tammy actually has a friend in the house.
We talk every day.
Well, tell us what you like about Tammy, because it seems like I feel like it's lost in some of the drama.
The thing is that regardless of, and it's with that personality, like regardless if she gives you the tough love when you need it. She's there when you're sad, when you're upset. If you need someone to talk to, she listens. But then she kind of brings you back and she's like, okay, have your moment, but also like come back and you're better than that and move forward. Don't listen to the hate. Don't do this. Like, and it's a great thing to have. Like, yes, she's tender in those moments of where you need a good friend and you just need a shoulder to cry on. But like, she also
builds your backbone. And she's like, don't be weepy. Like, come on.
And I think we see that.
And I'm like,
I think,
you're right.
and we all need that friend.
Yeah.
And I think we do see that. It's just so much happened after that we forgot, because let's not forget, during Champagne Gate, it was Tammy who was
And that's what I was
comforting
trying to
Kelsey
explain.
and
Yes.
who was checking to see if everyone's okay. And she was like, Hannah Ann said she didn't. And she was really trying to be the mediator and dissolve the situation and kind of find a resolution to
And
it.
yes, she's strong in her words, and some people just can't take that for what it is without feeling attacked. And I don't think it ever comes in a place of being attacked. I think that some of those moments, you know, between Kelsey and Tammy and Sydney and Tammy or whatever, and that in Costa Rica, it was just, I feel like Tammy was feeling attacked, and then that's when it just came out.
Yeah.
You know, and that can happen to anybody. I don't think that's a fault on Tammy. I told her, I was like, you could have handled that a little bit better.
Right.
But that's with anyone. It's a learning experience.
Yes.
And so you watch it back and you're like, yeah, that wasn't right. I should have said it this way.
And you think she learned from this experience?
Definitely.
Good for her. So before I let you go, I have to ask you, because we have no idea what happens at the end of this. This is a first, not a first that I necessarily like. I want to know what's happening. So what happens at the end of it? What do you think happens at the end of this season?
God, I truly don't know. And I've tried to like make equations. I'm like writing it down, like that Madison does this, and then Hannah Ann does this, and then Peter goes home and Barb's crying about Matt. Like I've like literally written it down and tried to figure out the answer. I don't know, because every time I see an episode, I'm like, oh no, it's this. And my whole thing changes.
And when you were saying that, all I saw was the meme where the woman has the equation in the chalkboard behind her, and she
And
just
her
looks
eyes are
more confused and more.
That's
that was
literally, that's me. It's just,
That's all of us.
It's
all of us. Well, thank you so much for being here. It's
I have
so
one
nice
thing
to
to
meet
say.
you. Oh, okay.
This is my first podcast, and I'm so honored.
I love this. Some more time.
I literally do it all the time, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Oh, well, thank you so much for being here. Not everybody gets to come in the hot seat.
I feel so honored.
So it's such a pleasure to meet you.
too.
Have
Thank
fun
you.
tonight, because I know the after party's going to be popping.
I'm ready for the pizza.
Oh, I didn't know there was pizza. Okay, let's go. Thank you. So I love when I discover companies that make life just a little bit easier. And one of our sponsors is doing just that. It's called Simple Health. Simple Health is completely changing the game for women's health. So if you're on birth control, or you're looking to get back on it, or maybe you're just trying it for the first time, you know how difficult, annoying, and honestly just confusing this entire process can be. So that's where Simple Health comes in. They're making your healthcare super simple, starting with online birth control prescriptions and free home delivery. So here's how it works, because these days it's all about convenience. So what you do is you go to simplehealth.com/bachelor. Then you'll fill out a comprehensive online health profile and answer some questions to make sure you get the best birth control for you. Then a licensed doctor will review your information, determine if you're a good candidate for birth control, and write you a prescription for the best method that's particularly meant for you. Your birth control will ship to your door for free, and with automatic refills, you never have to worry about forgetting a refill or even missing a pill again. So best of all, Simple Health works with most insurance plans, so you can pay absolutely nothing, but if you don't have insurance, it's still super affordable because pills just start at $15 per month, and the shipping is free for everyone. So remember, I have to tell you this, listen up, this isn't a replacement for your routine checkups with your doctor. You still need to make sure you have those. You still have to check on your overall health, but this is the most convenient and comfortable way for you to get your birth control. So if I haven't convinced you already, this will. The annual prescription is usually $20, but for our Bachelor Happy Hour listeners, you can try Simple Health for free. That's right, free. Didn't stutter. Just go to simplehealth.com/bachelor or enter the code bachelor at checkout. That's simplehealth.com/bachelor or enter the code bachelor at checkout.
All right, for all of my ladies listening out there, I know sometimes it can be hard to find your favorite, most comfortable fitting bra, but look no further than Third Love. Third Love uses measurements of millions of women to design bras with all-day comfort and support, and I can attest to this because I have been wearing my Third Love bra while on tour, and I love it. If you're worried about getting the right size, don't worry, because Third Love helps women find their perfect bra using their Fit Finder quiz, which is actually fun and it takes less than a minute to complete. Every customer has 60 days to wear the bra, wash it, and put it to the test. And if you don't love it, that's okay, because you can always return it, and then Third Love will donate a bra to a woman in need. So far, Third Love has donated over $15 million in bras. Third Love supports charities in their local San Francisco Bay Area and others all across the U.S. Third Love knows a perfect bra is out there for everyone, so right now they are offering our listeners 15% off of your first order. All you have to do is go to thirdlove.com/bachelor now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your purchase. That's thirdlove.com/bachelor for 15% off today.
I just want to say how fabulous Alayah looks. Listen, this sequence suit, and I'm not a big sequence, but actually I lie. Ever since being Bachelorette, it's what I
You can't
adore.
avoid the sparkle.
This looks amazing.
Thank you.
What size are you?
You can borrow whatever you want, girl.
I can't fit the same thing. Listen, I keep telling everyone this. You survived Women Tell All.
I did.
I feel like a lot of people had eyes on you, questions about what kind of went down. There just seems to be so much in the air. Do you feel like you got everything out that you needed to say tonight?
I feel like I did. I mean, it's hard being in that. I know that I was really kind of dreading going to Women Tell All because I'm not an aggressive personality. And obviously we have a lot of aggressive personalities in our group. And so I was really nervous that I wasn't going to be able to say what I had to say. But now that it's all over and I can breathe again, I feel pretty good about how everything happened.
Well, people didn't attack you.
No.
It wasn't about you. Honestly, it seemed to be more of the heat was on Victoria P.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there was a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of miscommunication. There's a lot of lack of communication. And I feel like a lot of America and the girls in the house had questions, but I do feel like we were able to kind of address those.
Do you? Because I feel like I still have some questions. Like, for example, did you really know each other longer than 3 hours?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That just seems to be the biggest one.
Yeah.
And to sum up, when you heard, watching back, the conversation that Victoria had with Peter about you, Victoria P, had with Peter about you, sum up your reaction in one word.
I mean, I was taken aback for sure. I wasn't expecting that. It was hard to watch for me because coming into this, I did expect for us to have each other's back, but I understand that when you're asked a question and you have a feeling, you're going to express that. You're going to be honest about your feelings. Again, I just feel like it was a lack of communication going into that. And I wish that we would have had the chance to talk about it before Peter asked about it.
Yeah.
But we didn't. And that's unfortunate.
Where do you guys stand today?
I mean, we kind of just respect each other. Like, we understand that we didn't communicate enough through this and that we want to both move past this. We don't want this to define us, define the group of friends that we're in. And we just want to kind of have like a mutual respect for each other.
Well,
as
that's
people.
good.
Yeah.
That's very adult and mature of you.
Yes. There doesn't have to be a winner or a loser or a right or wrong. We just respect each other's opinions.
Right. So I have an important question for you that I know America wants to know. Do you have a job?
3 jobs.
And please tell the people what they are.
Oh, I didn't realize my occupation would be so interesting.
I didn't either.
So the obvious, I'm an orthodontic assistant. I model professionally and I own a boutique.
Good for you, girl. Tell people where they can find the boutique. I mean, you might as well pub it on the podcast.
Shameless plug.
No,
It's
do
3D's
it.
Boutique. I got these earrings from my boutique. So we have cute accessories. It's me, my mom, and my sister. We run it together.
Good for you. So what's next? Well, first, I like to ask this question because I've been in your shoes before. I know what it's like to have a sisterhood in the house. And you guys got a lot of heat for not having a sisterhood. It just seems to be a lot of cattiness.
Yeah.
But then Lexi was like, well, we all love each other.
Yeah.
So who were you close with in the house?
Isn't it obvious? Savannah. Savannah's my girl.
Man, Savannah had your
my
back.
girl.
We all need a Savannah in our life. And seeing I feel like as Texas girls, we just have each other's backs like that. Because Savannah's from Texas
She's
too,
from
right?
Houston. Yep.
Did y'all know each other before?
No, we didn't. So we met on the show. We already had plans to go to the rodeo together. I mean,
Oh, the rodeo. Is Lizzo performing at the rodeo?
Is she?
No,
Stop.
Lizzo's performing at the rodeo.
Oh my God, I need to see her.
I am almost positive because the rodeo is like next week or something like that? It's in a couple of weeks.
The Houston rodeo is next month.
Next month.
The San Antonio rodeo already happened.
The Houston rodeo, I'm pretty sure
I'm looking at
Lizzo
that set list.
is performing because she used to live in Houston.
She's so good.
Yeah.
I am obsessed with her.
Yeah, I'm glad I could do you that favor.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
So what's next for you? Paradise? Summer Games? Tell me.
Everybody's asking. I don't think I'm fit enough for summer games. I'm not going to lie. I'm the cheerleader on the sideline.
Cheerleading is a sport.
It's totally.
Do you
a
watch
sport.
cheer?
Gosh, no.
I was like, I could Matt talk you. That's a thing.
Oh, really? My
You
sister did cheerleading.
Okay.
So I understand like the sideline lingo. But I don't know. Everybody keeps asking about Paradise, and genuinely, I have no idea. I feel like that's one of those decisions I'm just going to make when the question comes.
You are so put together, and I get it. Like, I wasn't in pageants, but like just being an attorney and like feeling you like you have to be on. Like,
You know how to turn it on.
I know, yes.
In appropriate situations.
Yes, I know. Yes, I know how to put on a show as well. I get it. So my question to you is, what do you do to like let your hair down and go crazy? Like, are you ever not put together?
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, did you see me on the kitchen
people.
counter?
Well,
with
let's
my
talk
glass
about
of
that.
wine?
Let's
I was very
talk
drunk
about that.
night.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I was really bored.
Those are the
that day
best
in mansion.
moments.
It was so fun. I had the best day that day until everything kind of fell apart. But I was just bored. And I was like, you know what? I've been in this house for 3 days. I'm going to get drunk tonight. And I'm going to have some pizza and some cookies. And one thing led to another. I found the pilot's hat. And next thing you know, I'm on the counter talking about the Mile High Club. It just happened.
Well, you know what? You want me to share a secret with you? One day we were really like, had nothing to do. You know how it is. Like when you don't have a date and you're like, okay, we'll like drink, we'll play games, whatever. We started talking about twerking. I feel like twerking was like so big back then. And I was like, do you know how to twerk on the wall? And so we taught everybody how to twerk on the wall. Like that was like our thing. Yeah.
Why did we do that?
I don't know who I would ever twerk on. I've never even done it for my husband.
Maybe you need to. You might like it.
Apparently that night.
After listening to this, he's going to be like, baby.
I know
Where's
what
that?
happened. And you know what? We used to joke and say the reason we're getting roses is because we're like, remember that night that we were all twerking on the wall? Oh yeah, that's what we do in our one-on-one time. Not really.
That would be so bad.
Not
in the
really.
best way.
Oh my gosh, your nails are like mine.
Twins.
You guys, we're having a moment here. You can't see it, but we're having a moment. It's like there's something deep rooted in Texas spirit. Yeah.
Right? It's just a thing. You see somebody from Texas, you're like,
yeah, I got you, girl.
I feel you.
I got you. All right. Well, is there anything else you feel like you want to clear up that you want to say?
Oh my gosh. Yes. I listened to your podcast.
Oh, when I called you Alayah?
Not even Alayah. Everybody does it. It's just a thing. The Texas Longhorn being my spirit animal.
I go. Bevo is castrated.
You're like, Bevo? And I went to a game shortly after listening to it. I'm like, yeah, he's boring. Never mind. It's a koala. My new spirit animal is a koala.
So you changed it because of what I said?
At first I was like, yeah, Texas pride, Longhorns. Then I'm like, no, yeah, he's boring.
Did you go to Texas?
No, I'm just a fan.
But well, you're close enough there, except for the time that he almost tried to run over the dog.
That was so good.
That was great.
So
That's you.
epic.
That's your spirit animal.
I'm Bevo against Georgia. That's right. Georgia Bulldog.
Yeah, Georgia Bulldogs. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here. And I just wish you the best on your journey. We hope to see you on something else.
We'll see.
We want more of you in the pilot hat, drunk on top of the counter.
Hey,
we know she's in there. We know she's in there. Bachelor Happy Hour fans, I have sitting in front of me with a mouthful of pizza. Kelsey, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm trying to think of where I want to start with you.
Just bring it all. I'm ready for it.
Well, you survived Women Tell All. That's what I say. That's an honor in itself. How do you think it went? How do you think you did?
I think for the most part I did okay. You know, I'm somebody that can embrace my flaws.
Yeah.
I can own up to when I was in the wrong. And just make humor of it, and that's what I tried to do. The thing about me is I did express to the girls in the house how I felt about them. I didn't talk crap in the interviews.
Oh, it's a rare characteristic.
People knew how I felt about them going into it, and we had most of everything hashed out.
Yeah.
I think the girls that didn't do that were a little bit more scared. So for me, it was just kind of like, all right, let's see what
I've said everything I need to say. That's a rare thing. I'm like that too. I'm very confrontational.
That's why it was controversial in the house.
Oh, because you said stuff?
I think so, because a lot of the girls, you know, would kind of say stuff a little bit, but then in their interviews, they would say more. So then it kind of got a little bit more controversial at the Women Tell All.
Yeah. I was talking to Shiann because she said she's really close to Tammy. And I was thinking about this and I'm like, what went wrong? Because that night at Champagne Gate, she was the one who was like right there with you.
But did you see her interviews?
Not at that point. They turned later.
But if you actually paid attention, because I
go back and watch now.
I was paying attention. She was talking about how crazy I was in that moment, how Peter needed to know and all this stuff. So she was already
in the champagne moment, but it was a crazy moment, Kelsey.
Oh, obviously.
It was a
I
little cray.
went batshit. Let's be honest.
Granted, I laughed. I actually took up for you on the podcast because I was like, she's not a bully. I mean, I said it was crazy, but I was like, you weren't a bully in that moment. And I hate when that word is so flippantly used.
Because I was bullied in high school.
She cursed her out, but she didn't bully her.
But I think and Hannah Ann knows this, the reason I was so heated in that moment was because if she would have just left me alone, I didn't purposely go up to her and like continue to be mean.
Yeah. When did y'all become friends?
Honestly, it was on our way down to Costa Rica on the plane. Her and I sat next to each other both times, which never happens.
Oh.
It was like this rare God sent thing. And her and I just talked everything out. And it was nice because it was off camera. I know the viewers want to see that, but I think even if we did it on camera, it wouldn't have really been, it maybe wouldn't have been shown and people wouldn't have really cared because there was so much drama going on.
Well, I appreciated it actually, and I didn't notice it at first. It was Becca, my co-host, who couldn't be here today. Shout out to Becca. She noticed it. How you, when Hannah Ann came back from, what was it, a 3-on-1, 2-on-1, something like that?
Yeah.
You ran up to her and you hugged her, and we were like, see, we can't all get along.
But what's funny is this is the hard thing about the show. Because my drama happened so early on, and that was really the first thing people saw of me. That was their first impression of me.
Yeah.
So it was like me trying to climb a mountain to get people to see who I really was. Whereas for a lot of girls, people got to see who they were. And then they got in drama and it's like, oh, it's just a bad moment.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like, oh, well, I can't get past the champagne thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you actually watch the show in Costa Rica, Hannah and I had a one-on-one girl chat. But a lot of people dismiss that.
Yeah.
Because in their mind, and then I went crazy, with calling Sydney what I did. I got a little intoxicated.
Yeah. But that wasn't, I felt like Champagne Gate was so big that you really had nowhere to go from up, but like you really went up fast. And I think a lot of people were surprised at the progression of your relationship with Peter.
Yeah.
A lot of people, like whether they liked it or not, that you went and talked to Peter privately, whatever it is, you and Peter had something and you made it all the way to hometowns.
Yep.
And I think people started to change on you.
I know the amount of hate I got from Champagne Gate. Some of those messages on the board were from me, and I did out people on my own personal account, and I got mixed reviews about it. Some people,
if you're bold enough to send the message, then you're bold enough to let people.
and I
you should be able to show
names on it. I blocked that out, but I even from Bachelor Nation, I got some messages like, "Hey, you're better than that. You're feeding into their like what they want. You're feeding the whatever," and I'm like. But I'm not because I'm not showing who it is. But I also think it's important to put it out there.
Yeah.
And so I'm really happy that we got to talk about that tonight because I think it's important.
And I think it was important too. And I'm glad that like you guys were so open about, you're sharing your own experiences because it's not always easy. And I think as one person did, everyone else did. And it sounds like you guys had talked with each other too about some of the experiences that you're sharing. And I think when you have that power circle of friends, it really helps you combat this because nobody gets this, what you're going through.
And I think when I put those messages on my Instagram story, I had so many girls that I hadn't really talked to that reached out and was like, this isn't okay. I get this all the time, kind of like, all right, we didn't see eye to eye, but we can level on the fact that we know what we're going through. So that was reassuring. And it almost bonds you in a way.
It does. Real quick, Paradise Summer Games, would you do those?
I think I would like Summer Games more just because I'm such a competitive person. You didn't get to see this because I was on all the glam dates. I would have loved to do tackle football, but I didn't want the bruises. So I'm happy for that fact. But I would have ran over some girls.
Good to know. They're listening. They're listening to this. Also, who does Peter pick? Hannah Ann, Madison, or himself?
I can't decide between the two, so I'm going to say himself.
Okay.
Just because I can decide between. I go back and forth every other day on who he picks.
Nothing wrong with that. Me too. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
It's so nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you
Where's
too.
that bottle of champagne? I wanted some of that. You didn't pop that thing.
I don't know. I have like champagne all over me, but
70% of people say they want to use natural products, but only 2% actually do. Why? Because what they sell at the store is from the biggest companies, but they're not necessarily the very best for you. If you're wondering where to start, look no further than Grove Collaborative. Grove Collaborative is the online marketplace that delivers all natural home, beauty, and personal care products directly to you. Grove takes the guesswork out of going green, and every Grove.co product is guaranteed to be good for you and our planet. I have personally used Grove's cleaning products since moving to California, but they also have a variety of products like candles, which I always stock up on every time I place an order. Join over 2 million lifetime customers who trust Grove Collaborative to make their homes happier and healthier. Plus, shipping is fast and free on your very first order. For a limited time, when our Bachelor Happy Hour listeners go to grove.co/bachelor, you will get a free 5-piece cleansing set from Mrs. Meyer's and Grove. That's a $30 value. Go to grove.co/bachelor to get this exclusive cleaning offer. Again, that's grove.co/bachelor.
All right, sitting here with me now is Lexi. So I know something about you that maybe you don't think that I know.
Oh, what is that?
I heard you were the coolest chick in the house. That's literally how it was described to me. They were like, oh my God, Lexi's the coolest.
I love that. That's awesome. But I don't think I'm the coolest.
We didn't see a lot of you on the season, but I felt like when you spoke, it was like very matter of fact. You were very chill. You didn't seem to get involved in the drama.
Yeah,
You had the girl clique. Y'all had a little clique. It's okay. They called us the cool kids. We had a clique too.
I'm like, you're in the house when there's 30 different women.
Yeah.
You're going to, be drawn to certain people and they become like your safe place in the house. So that really was that group of girls. And we're just very outspoken, sarcastic as hell. We just joke around a lot with each other. Like we have very like self-depreciating humor.
Yeah.
And I think you needed that kind of like comedic relief in the situation we were in.
Let me ask you this, because I feel like after watching you tonight in Women Tell All, you are opinionated, you're outspoken, girl after my own heart, but you tell it like it is.
Yeah.
So watching as a viewer what was happening in the house with the women, it was like insane. And y'all have gotten a lot of flack.
Yeah.
Was it really that bad?
It was worse.
Oh my God.
I think I
would have self-eliminated.
Well, that's the thing is I started to just like, it was almost funny. Like how have we gotten so far off track of what we're supposed to be focusing on, which is Peter.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about champagne bottles and friendships before and who cares? Like, it just started to get so noisy. I just wanted to be like, what is happening?
You just have to laugh to survive.
Exactly. So I think I didn't realize that I thought I was coming off like a crazy person.
Yeah.
Like, cause by the time we got to Costa Rica, I hit my mark.
Yeah.
I was like, that's it. I'm going to say exactly what I want. And I felt like I did that all the way through.
Sure.
But I was there truly just to find a connection.
I believe it.
I don't care if I win. I didn't care if I went home night one. If he wasn't my person, bye. It was so nice to meet you because I'm very happy with my life.
Yeah.
And I want someone to share it with.
Yeah.
So that was it for me.
Do you think that was your demise? Like, do you think that that's why you didn't participate in the drama? Yeah. He seems to like when a girl shows emotion, almost confuses that with depth. We talk about that on the podcast. Yeah. Confuses the two. Do you think like that was probably why you went home?
Yeah, I think it was multiple things. I definitely could have opened up a little bit more earlier on. Mm-hmm. It was just hard. I think with everything else going on. And a lot of the conversations turned to what was going on with other girls.
Yeah.
And I was like, Peter, I'm so glad that you want to ask me, but I'm also not your therapist. Like, I'm trying to date you.
Yeah.
And we just keep talking about other girls. So that was a little frustrating, but I understood where he was coming from. Like I felt for him. I wanted to give him some sort of guidance if that's really what he wanted.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would change anything. Like I learned so much about myself.
Good.
And I'm even more vocal, like I have no problem just
Oh, you were vocal.
Speaking-
Oh, you were vocal tonight. I said, well, like I was talking to Shiann. I was like, "What's up with you and Lexi?" I mean, which I was
We
proud for.
had no,
No, I
that was
know.
interesting for me too.
Well, I was proud of her because it was like she wanted to speak and have her voice because we didn't see it much on the season. We didn't see yours on the season. So I was like, wow, you know, like Lexi's really, honestly, you should have spoken up more. Maybe you could have narrated this whole season and we could have gotten through it a lot more faster with complete sentences and thoughts.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's the thing is you never know what's going to be in the show.
Yeah.
I was vocal, but I think I held back a little because I was like, what, this is
What's
crazy.
going on?
Yeah. And I just wanted to kind of ride it out. I didn't want to be in the drama because that's not who I like. I don't
Yeah.
get involved in that.
Yeah.
But when it started to affect my time with Peter, that's when I was like, okay, we need to stop this.
Yeah.
Because it just felt like the train was going off the tracks a little.
You had a very interesting comment tonight, and I keep talking about it because it was almost shocking. It was a beautiful statement, but it was shocking. It caught me off guard. You said, I know it doesn't seem like it, but we all love each other. When did that love come about? Because it for damn sure didn't come in the season. Did it pop off in the group chat? Did y'all slide in each other's DMs? When did the love fest come about?
I guess, I mean, I'm the oldest of 5 kids and I have 4 sisters and we fight and we say whatever we want and we are honest with each other. And right after we, you know, you can hug and you can move on. Just because you disagree with someone doesn't mean you don't have love for them.
Yeah.
While we were filming and where we're all at now is a very different place. And we've all learned from that. And we
that's
all,
good.
you know, like I wasn't perfect. No one was perfect. And I think we just have grace for each other now.
Hindsight's 2020. I
Yeah.
think you all are
And you
learned from it.
Just you know, like it's something you can never replicate.
Yeah.
It's a group of women that, you know, no one else in the world will get to know exactly what happened in the house.
Yeah.
We just have a bond because of that.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
PTSD a little, you know? When you
Yeah.
go through
Oh,
a
yeah.
near-death experience, you bond.
I'm interested in the year from now who all will be close because that's always the thing.
That's probably true. I guess we'll see.
Real quick before I let you go,
Yeah.
will we see you in Paradise or Summer Games?
It's a good question. I don't know.
Would you do it if you were asked?
I
We
would
need more.
definitely not say no.
Okay.
I'm open to it, you know?
Okay.
I think I had so much fun
Yeah.
filming. I loved this experience.
Yeah. I want to hear and see more of you. So
Thanks.
All right. Well, thank you for being here.
Of course. It was so nice talking to
You
you.
too. All right. Sitting in the hot seat right now, somebody I've been so eager to talk to, Miss Tammy. Welcome to Bachelor Happy Hour.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Now, the theme of this is without struggle, there is no progress, which is a tattoo that you have on you. So let's talk about the struggle.
Okay.
And hopefully there was some progress after today because congratulations for surviving Women Tell All. I know it was a lot for you. I'm going to start there and let you talk. How do you feel
I
coming
feel
out of that?
like all of us aired out what we needed to air out, and I got my point across, whether they wanted to listen to it or not, and we're ready to move past this, you know?
I feel like you have that type of personality. Like you can just let things roll off your back.
Absolutely.
You don't really take it to heart.
I don't take offense to much, really, and I think it's a waste of energy to just hold a grudge on something. What I do is I'm going to let myself deal with it, feel the emotions, and then get over it and move on.
Why do you think that the girls came at you so harsh?
I think because I am a very strong personality. I am the loudest one in the room. And with that comes with controversy, and people are going to disagree with that. And that's okay. And honestly, I'm glad I started a conversation because I'm here to challenge people. You know, it's going to be uncomfortable and I'm okay with that.
Do you feel like you apologized to people tonight? Because I feel like some people came in expecting an apology from you from either what they saw or what they heard, or I don't know, what went down in the group chat, whatever.
Yeah. Between me and Kelsey, we know the situation. Okay. I'm not here to save face and apologize just to apologize. Like we've already talked about it and it's between me and her and it's been resolved. you
Okay.
know?
So I'll go off of that. Were you frustrated rehashing a conversation that apparently you guys already had off camera?
Absolutely. And again, I think it needs to be said on camera and relived again. And it does suck for both parties. You know, we don't like to come at each other that way. I do respect these girls. And I think the reason why we all butt heads is because we're all very dominant and passionate people.
Do you have any regrets this season?
I don't really have any regrets. I mean, I tried my best. What you see is kind of what you get. And I'm not, no matter what, I think it looks villainous because I am the loudest person in the room and I started an argument. But I could have farted, and if he canceled the cocktail party, people would have blamed me for farting. You know, it's just like, because that was the person to blame at the time.
Well, I talked to Shiann, and she had nothing but positive things to say about you. She
anyone
said
who knows me,
y'all are very close.
Yeah, we are very close. I love that girl to death.
But what were you saying? Anyone who knows you?
Anyone who knows me knows that I'm not a malicious person.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even ask McKenna and Kelsey. They'll say as well, I'm not a nasty human being. We are going to disagree with things, but that's the beauty of friendships. Like, I'm not going to agree with everything just because you're my friend.
Well, Lexi said it. She said, you guys all love each other.
Absolutely.
And I think we were shocked, but we saw it in a moment when we had that very serious conversation where we were talking about being bullied and spewing hate, and you guys ran to each other and came to each other. And I was really, really happy when you spoke. I wanted to hear from you because I saw the post that you talked about growing up and how you felt. And even something you said we talked about on the podcast, when you were going home in the car and you talked about he wanted a blonde trophy wife, and it rocked me, Tammy, when you said that, because I felt you. And in that moment, I felt like you've been misunderstood all season. And I just like really want to give you an opportunity to talk about that. And I also want to know how this conversation, if at all, has helped you.
I am actually so happy. I wasn't expecting this, and I'm so happy that you came on here and talked about it, because I think for too long people were getting away with these nasty comments, and it's a hate crime. And it's not okay for people to hide behind a screen and say these things who don't even know me or know us. Like, they say nastier things to us than we would ever say to each other.
You said that was a really powerful point.
Absolutely. And that just says more about, like, yeah, we are going to disagree, but I would never come at someone's character. I would never come at someone's like race or how they look. I think that when I did say the trophy wife comment, like, yeah, throughout my entire life, I grew up in a very Caucasian community. I wanted to be this all-American girl so badly. Yeah. And I could never be that. And because I can't change it. I'm as Asian as it gets, okay? Like,
you're beautiful.
Thank you.
You guys, she's literally shining. I don't know how they let her wear this shirt on stage. It looks stunning.
I'm sorry, production.
It looks stunning, but it is against the dress code.
I was blinding myself with this top.
But you're beautiful. And we said that on the podcast. I do. And
it took a long time for me to get there. Like, again, like, I wanted to buy all the clothes that these girls had and be who these girls were. And I think for a long time, I wanted to be blonde hair, blue eyed so badly. Like, I would cry my eyes out to my mom. She's like, sweetheart, you're Asian. There's nothing you can do. But
I think that what you said is so powerful. And even the social media post that you had, because you are representing someone. And it's like, I can speak about being an African-American woman, but I can't speak to what you went through and your struggles. And I hope that even though we had that conversation, that you knew that you're not alone. And I hope it empowers you to represent.
Yeah. And I hope that, I wish I heard this when I was struggling with the racial thing when I was a kid. Because there is people like me out there who are going through the same thing. And it sucks when you feel so isolated and alone in the sea of people, because no one else is going to be able to understand unless they have experienced what you and I have experienced.
Right. But you're not alone.
I know. And I love that. I love that.
I feel like what you said was so powerful. Like, we don't know who the next bachelorette's going to be. If you were asked, would you do it?
I mean, of course, I would love the opportunity to, because I think people just see this one side of me, and they judge me on 1 minute of time that they think is defining who I am as a person. But did they forget, like, throughout the entire season, like, I was never that.
Yeah.
I'm not a villain. I'm not a mean person. I have a lot of composure to me, and I have a lot of stories to tell, and I think that I would love the opportunity to become bachelorette.
Well, I would love for the opportunity for you to redeem yourself. So whether it's Bachelorette, Paradise, Summer Games, redemption for Tammy.
Yeah, the redemption, not even like where I have to like change who I am, but like the fact that people need to see the full 360 of me before they
Exactly.
can cast judgment. You
But
know?
no, honestly, they can on other shows. So,
Right.
Well, I'm happy that you were able to speak to us today.
Yeah, thank you for
and that
having
people can
me.
hear your voice and see another side of you. I know I have on Women Tell All, and then just sitting here with you today.
Thank
So
you.
thank
And
you so
seriously,
much
thank
for being
you
here.
for bringing the awareness because
Oh,
it was
it was
really
my
an
honor.
honor.
It truly was. Thank you for being so
Yeah.
vulnerable.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you. Last but not least, we have Victoria P on Bachelor Happy Hour.
In the house.
In the house. How are you doing? You survived Women Tell All. You see, here's the thing. You were quiet at first. I thought, we're not really hearing a lot from Victoria P. And then Chris said, Alayah and Victoria P. And then it was bam. It was all on you. So how do you feel?
Bam. I don't like conflict and I don't like confrontation, but I'm learning to work through it and learning to grow through it and to confront it head on. And I tried my best to do that tonight. And I think that in that I was, I did better at communicating than what I did before, and that I think I squashed a little bit of it.
Yeah,
I hope so anyway.
Like Savannah had it in for you, and I talked to Alayah, and Alayah said y'all have mutual respect for each other, and it's kind of like a very mature situation, which I think is great because we don't always see that, or we didn't see that this season as viewers. So it's nice to hear that you guys have reconciled and you're letting bygones be bygones. Savannah still has it in for you. But
not everyone likes you, right?
But she said you talk in circles. So I feel like I want to give you the opportunity to explain your, be very matter of fact about what it is. So I'm going to ask you very direct questions.
Okay, go ahead. I'm ready for it.
Because I'm
ready for it.
Did you guys know each other more than 3 hours?
Yes.
Did you have fun in Vegas?
I had fun in Vegas.
Where'd you stay?
I stayed at, where did we stay? Treasure Island, right?
Treasure Island. Did you room together?
No.
Okay.
Two separate rooms.
Is there picture evidence?
There is picture evidence.
Okay.
Yeah. No shame in the fact that I knew her. I had verbalized that to Peter that we knew one another. As far as being friends, I couldn't tell you her favorite color, what her mom's name is.
Yeah, you weren't close.
Car she drives, where she went to school, what she does for a living. I mean, honestly, no, we weren't close.
This is what I'll equate it to. You guys are all close right now, but a year from now, you're not going to be the same.
Yeah.
It's sad, but you won't be on the same level that you were before.
Exactly.
So it's like we all went through this experience like a pageant.
Yeah.
I know her. I've been around her, but I'm not close with her.
Yeah.
She's not one of my closest
Exactly.
friends. See how we cleared that up?
Yeah.
And just like that.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? What are you doing right now?
So I work full time as a nurse. I've been a nurse for the last 4.5, 5 years. So still doing that. I don't think that reality TV, that I have a future in that. I can't see myself. I can't see myself doing that in the future, but I hope that love is somewhere in between.
Well, that is the most honest thing I think that anybody has said. So thank you for that on this podcast, because you don't see people come from the show and say, you know what? I don't think there's a future in it for me. So you wouldn't do Paradise? You wouldn't do Summer Games?
I'm just saying that I wouldn't. So my mom nominated me for The Bachelor in the first place.
That's so cool.
So I'm like,
hey, Mom.
Yeah. Hey, Mom. Yeah. Anyway, but so Cindy nominated me, and this has been a great experience, a learning experience. But yeah, I don't know what's next, but I will say I'm not. I don't know what's next, but I don't know if I will do.
You got to think about it.
I'll
You
think
gotta
about it.
You're going to weigh out your options. Do you have any regrets then from the season?
I wish that, and there were times that I wish I'd been more direct. Like you and I wish I had been better at communicating, but I'm learning how to communicate better. I am an empathetic person, and I think it's part of my nature and who I am as a human being, and it's part of my profession, obviously. And just the way that I grew up, to just kind of like brush it off and give someone kindness and grace, and kind of take a hit in that. And I'm learning that it's okay to stand up for myself, and it's okay to have healthy confrontation and conflict, and to work through that.
And I think it's okay to say I made a mistake. Yeah. I own it.
Yeah.
I didn't handle it the best. We all can say that coming from this opportunity.
Yeah. And I did it. There were many things that I'm like, oh man, I really could have handled that different. And I've beaten myself up about it, and I've gotten hate mail because of it. And but it's been challenging for me, but it's also been a growing experience and a learning experience through that. Did I know Alayah before this? Yeah. I never denied that. Were we friends? No, I'd say we were more acquaintances, but I should have clarified more, and I should have communicated more with her.
In your defense, Peter doesn't always ask the most direct questions. So that's why I was like, you know what? We're just going to go right to it.
Well, I'm glad we got it out the way. So anyway.
So like everybody knows, there are no more questions about it. It is what it is. They've moved on, so you guys need to move on as well.
And absolutely. And I think I will say, everyone move on. And I hope that everyone treats Alayah with kindness and respect and love and generosity, regardless. There's no side to choose as far as I'm concerned. And
I think we're there.
Yeah.
And you know what's been great? Like Women Tell All started off real high, like on a level 305. And then things just kind of like died down a bit. And then you saw that there was this camaraderie between you guys. And I think that was special because as a viewer, we saw none of that. And so I think you guys all were just like, you know what? Hindsight's 2020. We made some mistakes, but we all went through a shared experience and you're going to hold on to that.
Yeah. We were all different and we all have our differences, but we could all see it in unity and hand in hand say that we are, that we stand together against hate and against a better future and can let bygones be bygones, you know?
I don't even want to ask you another question. That was beautiful, the way you just ended that. I was going to ask you about the season, but it's like, you know what? Yeah, like, let's just be better.
Yeah, I think that we can always be better. There's always room for growth. And like I said, this has challenged me to be better. And I don't know what's ahead, but I know that this has challenged me to be a better Victoria P, and I'm going to be a better human being, a better spouse, and a better friend, and because of all this. So,
well, thank you for sharing that, and thank you for coming on the podcast.
All right, thank you.
Now, I lied to you guys, and I don't do this often, but when I do, it's for a good reason. I told you my final guest was Victoria, but it's actually Mr. Weber. Peter, welcome again to Bachelor Happy Hour. You're becoming a regular.
Yeah, what's going on? It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Can we have an honest talk?
I would love that.
I'm upset.
Why?
Because I was rooting for you.
Wait, what?
We were all rooting for you.
It's not over yet. What's wrong?
But this is why. I remember when we talked and I was like, man, Peter, out of anybody who since I've been watching, I want you to find your happiness and to find love. And this season has been frustrating for me to watch. So I can only imagine what it was like for you to be in it.
Yeah.
And I guess I just like am frustrated. I'm frustrated for you. That's why I'm saying I'm upset because, you know, at this point, I have no idea what decision that you made. And Chris tonight said, you don't even know what the decision is, which as a lawyer and being logical, I'm like, okay, so that means maybe this is this, and we can't figure it out. But watching this last episode and you being so honest and forthcoming about how you feel, about who you are, it was very frustrating for me to watch you put all yourself out there and then to get this tidbit of information at the very end. And I'm very curious as to how you felt about it.
Are you talking about with Victoria?
Talking about with Madison.
Oh, okay.
So maybe I should I guess I'm more so saying you have been very upfront and honest about like what you're going through and how you feel, maybe even to a fault, but that's like the beauty of you. It's a gift and a curse. And for you to get this information at the very end, which I feel like doesn't allow you to fully have the right mindset as you're going into week 9, which is insanely important. And just to set the stage for everybody, week 9 is important, not because it's Fantasy Suite Week and that's what it's entitled. It's that it's the time that you get off camera to really get to know somebody with no one else around. It is precious, precious time. And your mind is all over the place for multiple reasons. And you're trying to be sensitive to how everyone else is feeling. But at the same time, you need to kind of know everything. And you didn't until the very last second. So I'm really curious to know how you felt in that moment when you got that information that maybe you could have gotten, I don't know, week 1.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know realistically if that's a week 1 type conversation, but yes, in a perfect world, I definitely would have. I wish I could have known that sooner on, no doubt, because that made that week the hardest week of my life, and that was not easy at all. But I will say, like I told all of the women from the very first night I remember the toast. I said, be real with me. Share whatever is on your heart. I don't care if you think I'm going to like it or not. Just, I need to know that and you need to be able to express that to me. And that's all that Madison was doing in that moment. Yes, I would have loved for her to have done it way sooner. I would have. But I can't fault her. And if I do, I'm only a hypocrite of her sharing what was on her heart. And she did it in the most there was no easy way for her to do that. And I remember that conversation like it was yesterday. It was tough for her and she was struggling and she didn't want it to come off like she was telling me what I had to do, but she was simply telling me where it would put her if I made certain decisions. And that I have to respect and I can't fault her for.
You talked about her when she shared that information with you about the ultimatum.
Yeah.
I don't want to say ultimatum, but you didn't feel like she was giving you an ultimatum, but she was sharing what was on her heart in that moment in the hangar when it was down to the final 3. Do you ask yourself the question, why didn't she also share that she was saving herself for marriage in that moment?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why she didn't decide to share that with me. I truly do, whether it's right or not, I feel like maybe that would have meant something to me.
I actually agree with you.
Knowing that information. Yeah.
I like when we talk about it on the podcast, I make the argument that I think that information was vital to you to know what decisions you were going to make going into that week.
Yeah, you're right. And I obviously her and I, we have different viewpoints on that and that's fine. You know, we don't have to be alike in every single regard, but, yeah, I wish she would have expressed that to me there. And I think, it would have had a little bit more gravity there. And, but what are you going to do? She didn't.
Yeah. So tell me how it ends.
Well,
Peter,
it's crazy.
we're close now.
I know. Can you sniff it yet?
I have personally asked to be placed next to Barb at the finale.
At the finale?
I thought she was going to be here at Women Tell All. She was not.
Yeah, a couple of her friends were honey bears back in the day.
Oh, really?
I got to say hi to them. Yeah.
So what happens? Am I going to be mad? I'm upset because I want
I can tell.
whatever happens. I'm like passionate.
Yeah.
So it's not an upset like I'm angry.
No, you want the best
like,
for me.
I like you.
Yeah.
You know?
I like you.
And I want it to work for you and I want you to be, I mean, you can be happy even if you choose yourself at the end of this, but I just, like when I see what's happening towards the end, I titled our podcast for last week, Can Peter Catch a Break? It was the subtitle. Can we just give him 1 week off?
The answer is no. The answer
God,
is no.
Peter.
It's and I say, I've said it a million times. Things happen till the last second. And
apparently they still are.
We'll see about that. But yeah, it was just very difficult for me in a lot of ways. And yeah, the whole stuff with the Fantasy Suite week, and that set the tone for a lot of stuff. It was super tough, but I really can say like right now where I'm at, I am happy and I am in a good spot. And
so I'm not going to be mad at the finale. Is that what you're telling me? Am I going to be mad?
At this point, everyone has so many opinions and you can't please everyone is what I'm learning. So I don't know.
But we're talking about me. We're worried about me.
Okay.
Big sis here.
Big sis. You know, I think I can sense, some overprotective tendencies here, which I appreciate. And I love that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Listen, I know you want the best for me and, I'm in a good spot. So I think that'll be good.
I can hold on to that. Okay. Yeah. That'll get me through till the finale.
Yeah.
Come see me though after that though.
Okay. I will. And what I will say is you're not going to be mad about me not following my heart and doing what I needed to do for sure.
No, I won't. I won't be mad at you for following your heart. But we'll put a pin in it there. Okay. Now, what I will say about tonight, though, what was really refreshing was how nice the women were.
Right?
Were you shocked?
Yes, I was.
Why?
Because I had never been in a room with that many exes until then. I walk out and I had a lot of nerves coming into it. I just didn't know how they'd kind of receive me. It's always weird when you end a relationship and that's the first time you see them. But no, I felt the love like crazy from them and just really sweet, kind words of encouragement. That was really special and beautiful to me. And I thought that was awesome.
I'll say it was awesome too, because the women we just know didn't really get along and there seemed to be so much cattiness, but they all could agree you were the common denominator of what was good about the season for them. So I thought that was special. Like, people can call you indecisive. Right. I've said it myself. Yeah. But at the end of the day, whatever you did with them because of the way they reacted tonight, you did it right.
Yeah. And that means a lot. Those words mean a lot. I truly tried my best to really, as much as I could, give each relationship my full attention when I was with those women. And, seeing that they saw that as well and expressed that to me, that meant a lot. And, I could feel good about that.
Well, I really want to keep asking you questions, but you're not giving me what I want because I want you to tell me how it ends.
That's all you want to know.
And I just really thought we were on a different level, Peter. I've been invited to come over to the family dinner.
Yeah, we're on a podcast, so don't ask me when we're on a podcast.
No, nobody's here. What are you talking about? No, but you do seem happy. And I always wish the best for you. And I guess I'll just have to wait till next
Just a
week,
couple
like
more weeks.
everybody else.
It's okay. This truly might be the first kind of unspoiled in a while. So you know what?
It already is.
Well, I hope they enjoy it, and I'm sure there'll be no shortage of opinions, just like the rest of this journey. But it's something that I'll always remember and very grateful for.
Well, at the end of the day, I know you will handle it well, like you always do.
Thank you.
All
Thanks
right.
a lot, big
Thanks
sis.
for being here.
Love you.
Love you. Well, you guys, that was Women Tell All. We brought you some great guests, more guests than I even thought that were going to come through here. And people were actually excited. I guess they haven't been listening to the podcast. No, but everything was great. It was all love. I really enjoyed having great conversation with the women. I loved getting some insight from Peter. And I mean, next week, you guys, is the finale. I have no idea what's going to happen. I know it's going to be good. I know you better tune in and come back here. I have no idea who's going to be sitting in the hot seat, but that's because we don't know how it ends. So stay tuned. Thank you for joining. And I feel like I should say, you're welcome. And don't forget, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to this right now.